Okay, we're going to move on to the race for 4-year-olds. The first race on the Friday, that's the JCB Triumph Hurdle. So Dave, if you could roll the footage on that, and we'll have a look at the first couple of contenders, and then we'll have a discussion on the race. Just while we're waiting on the footage to come up there, Edo, just this race, the Triumph Hurdle, it's a really difficult race for a 4-year-old, isn't it? It's a really tough race to win.
Yeah, it's a very tough race, and it's a very hard on a horse. Like, you know, even horses that win it, like even Countrywide Flame won it last year, like, and it seems to take a hell of a lot out of 4-year-olds. And some horses like that will run well for the year, and you know, go there, and it does. You know, some of them just don't perform in this race because it is a very hard race to win.
It is, but our Connor, who's probably the leading Irish up, looked very impressive when he won the Spring Juvenile Hurdle in Leopardstown.
Yeah, the ground, like, I suppose it was as good a ground as what they would have had so far for the year, but he looks to be far and above the best Irish horse going now at the present moment.
It does. Peter, this is a very difficult race, isn't it, for a young horse? It's a tough race to win.
Oh yeah, it's a very hard race. But I think there's one winner here. I think it has to be Kirwan.
He was brilliant, wasn't he, in Leopardstown?
He was brilliant in Leopardstown. And if you go back, I couldn't believe it when the last at the time, 350 something, wasn't it? 350, I don't know what now it was very fast. It was very fast.
Yeah.
And she said that's the level of the Triumph Hurdle.
And he's a decent price as well, Peter. He's around 5 or 6 to 1, so he's definitely a bet.
I think he's the one.
Couch, what do you think?
It's interesting you said about the times there, because Leopardstown's a lot sharper than most of the tracks in England, Kempton, definitely Cheltenham anyway. You've got to remember on the Friday, on Tuesday and Wednesday they're racing on one course, and on the Thursday and Friday it's much stiffer. It's a lot stiffer test day, isn't it, this the last 2 days?
Yeah, completely different tracks, and suit completely different types of horses as well. So it definitely is a huge factor, and don't be thinking it's not. And I would imagine they would play into the likes of our Connor's hands this different track. And by the way, if you only want to have a bet in this race, don't go in and have a cup of tea, because they're the worst bunch of yokes that you can ever bet with. And the Couch might have a different view, but as far as we're concerned, jockeys, these are dirt off the flat that can't be sold to Dubai or America.
Apparently Tesco's going to make them an offer.
And I'd say it's a good avenue to go down.
When all that meat thing was going on, our local butcher had a thing up. He said, "We've got some new meatballs. They're the dog's bollocks." Get back to the Triumph.
The guy was asked downstairs what he'd like on his burger, and he said $5 each way.
But like, Couch, when you're like on a daily basis, when you're punting, like, do you punt these races?
Yeah, I think they're great races today, because in England, really, Paul Nicholls and Nicky Henderson, they know they got the best form line for all of the animals, really. And since this race, 8 years we've had the Fred Winter, it's been an absolute gold mine. It's been the best race at the festival for jollies or seconds in.
It has. Apart from last year, obviously, Countrywide Flame was...
Again, he had 4 mules tied in with a lot of them. And the reason for it is, of course, you know, we used to have 40 runners in this race. It was manic, as Davy said, young horses running all over the place. It was chaos. All you needed was John Wayne and Taras Bulber fucking joining at halfway. But since the Fred Winter has taken a lot of the rubbish away, it's not as tough as it is. And so you look at the sort of horses. Arcanda, for example, won it. I mean, he's come back and finished 5th in the Champion Hurdle.
Celestial Halo, Catch It, Detroit City, not a good horse.
Catch It won the Triumph and then won the Champion. So since that, Fred Winter's gone. Al Connor, what worries me is by Jeremy, and he did show a good turn of foot, and he's obviously the best of the Irish. I'm not certain he'll get up the hill. I think, you know, he's more of an Atrials than a Cheltenham, so that'd be my worry. If you like backing him running, he's one of my running bets at the festival, because I'm thinking back him in trade out, because at some stage he looked like he's going to win, but whether he get up the hill or not, being a Jeremy, 7th furlong horse won the Jersey Stakes for Sir Michael Stout, I'm not quite certain. One horse who did get up the hill was Rolling Star. Nicky Henderson's got a tremendous record in the Triumph. He's had he knows where he stands, and there was fortunes for an horse who come over from France called Rolling Star, back from 33s to 16s for the Triumph before he ran. He then went and beat an horse of Paul's called Irish Saint, who came out and won at Kempton on Saturday, where Nicky had the second. Vasco de Ronsa, I think, has got a real chance in the Fred Winter. So once again, you've got Nicholls and Endo And I just think Rolling Star just might outstay O'Connor.
Well, for what it's worth, we were doing a preview with Paul Nichols for TG Capper, and we asked him for 2 horses for the festival, and he gave us Wonderful Charm for the Coral Cup and Far West for the Triumph. He said this horse he really thinks could be a champion hurdler of the future. He rates him that highly, so time will tell. But Brian, what's your view of the race?
Really like O'Connor. Thought he was really good at Leopardstown, but it's a 3-horse race in my opinion. Top 3. I wouldn't even consider the rest. It's funny you should say Nichols gave you Far West because we were over there last Wednesday and he used to say, he said Rudy got off him in the day he won in Ascot and said this could be a champion hurdle horse for next year. But I was so taken with O'Connor in Leopardstown that I couldn't not back him. So it'll be O'Connor for me.
Okay, Andrew, quick word on the race from yourself. Just an interesting stat. The last 7 winners, aside from Countrywide Flame last year, who won at 33-1, but the previous 7 winners were in the first 4 in the betting. So it has been a good race for punters.
I agree with Brian. I think O'Connor rode in the Leopardstown race. We went to Savage Gallop, and he kept going. I know Davy and Brian Cooper love him to bits, so I'd go with O'Connor.
Okay, thanks very much, Andrew. So quite a few votes there for our O'Connor. The last Irish horse, incidentally to win the race was you have to go back to Scholarly. Willie Mullins back in 2002 for the last Irish horse to have won the Triumph.